Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to a new session of the Trader Logs. Thanks for watching. First of all, I welcome you to my journey within my trading process, and step by step we will get better and better and better. Yes, in this session I will provide a weekly outlook. So we will look at what I am expecting for the week to happen and how I will anticipate the expectations that I have for the week. Like I told in the last weekly outlook, before we can go to the charts, we have to look at the weekly calendar. And it's not that we are looking at the news to think about whether the news will be bullish or whether the fundamental news will be bearish, but we have to know which times in the market there will be an increase in volatility, because an increase in volatility brings extra risk within the market. And besides that, it is also a hint in how they will print the market for the week and how we can expect the week to show itself. Whether it will be bullish the first days or whether it will be bearish the first days. Can we expect a consolidating week or expansion for the week? It can all be shown within the news statements, like which type of week is it, which type of events do we have, and of course along with that we have the price action on the charts that show it itself. But it's very important for you to watch the news calendar before trading. Also, if you're, for example, on a funded account, it can be that if you're trading certain news events that you're not allowed to trade, that you can lose your account, and that's of course something we don't not want. All right, let's start. As you can see at the bottom right, I'm from the Netherlands, so it's almost 7 o'clock, meaning PM session is about to start, and it's the 1st of May, so we already are into Monday. Most of the time I do my weekly outlook on Monday evening, my bigger view, and then I will start to hunt from Tuesday on. If I see something, most of the time when I trade on Monday, it will be AM session, so past 8:30 in New York time or 3:30 in the Netherlands, or in PM. All right, let's go ahead. Like I said before, it's May 1st today, meaning we had just the closing of last month, and that also brings some extra thinking when looking at the new market. You have to think about what have we done last month. Did we take a low? Are we still consolidating? Did we expand further? And how did we close that month? We will go to the charts in a minute, so we will talk about it right then. What we can see is coming with the start of this week, most of the time on the first Friday of the month, is NFP, and we can see we have an NFP change this week at 2:30, and besides that we have FOMC. For me personally, I have the rule, when FOMC week is ahead and NFP week is ahead, I try to take my trades till Wednesday in the morning, so London session, no AM. Then when there is two sets of news events, so 8 o'clock and 8:30, I can trade after the 8:30 news event has been brought out. And Thursday, no trading, and on NFP day after the news release of NFP, so meaning after 2:30 I can trade as well. Most of the time that will be at the start of AM, so something around 4 o'clock or London close for currency pairs. Besides this, for the week, what I want to say is this is no financial advice, of course. Take into account the risks that come with trading, and all you are practicing on should be a demo account. Do not try to engage someone to a live account. That's all on your own risk. And everything shown here is in probabilities and is not absolute truth. Alright, let's go ahead for the week. So what we can see is we have a lot of news events. So we had a consolidation last week, so I'm expecting a big expansion for this week. We can see some craziness. It could be a lot of whipshawing or stop hunting on both sides, but I think we can see some pretty decent price action, at least until FOMC on Wednesday evening. Alright, let's start with the dollar. The dollar is for my benchmark. So I always try to start with the dollar, the view, and let's take a quick look at the monthly because we just closed on the monthly. Alright, what we can see is last month we had the view, exactly from 2021 we have an up run, a bullish run, taking out this buy side liquidity, and the last months from the starting of September 22, we can see we had a retracement below this low. So we have taken out this low one time and we came back to it another time, creating equal lows. What is coming from an equal low? People are thinking that it might be a support, so we can see some inducement. I'm not saying we will trade lower, we'll trade higher, but we have to take into account as a day trader what is the highest probability that is coming for the coming days or weeks. Alright, what we can see here, like I said, we have a double bottom. So people are gonna buy this up. It could be an inducement to trade lower, or it could be a real stop on below this low to trade us higher. I can't say that right now at this moment, but what I can say is that it's an expectation that we might see a retracement since we have been trading lower. If you look at the weekly and we take my notations along with it, what we can see right here, like I said, it's the first week of the new month, and last week we closed with a divergence on euro. So what we can see here is that we have a low here, and this is a higher low than the low that has been printed right here. On Euro USD, which we will see in a minute, after the analysis on the dollar, we can see that we have been spiking higher on the dollar. So that means we have created a divergence here. Because normally when the dollar is trading below a low, Euro USD should be trading above a high. And if the dollar is not trading below a low, that means that the euro also should not be trading above a high. So that means we should see something like this on euro when we are seeing exactly what we are seeing here on the dollar, meaning we have a higher low here, then we also should see a lower high on the euro. But what we have seen last week is that we had a higher high on the euro. Means it's a crack on correlation. This aids me into the possibility that I already outlined of the first week of the new year with NFP coming, that we could see some retracement before we will target this sell side. And if we are going to target the sell side, I think we will draw towards this weekly fair value gap. On the bullish side, I see a possibility to trade towards this weekly fair value gap right here that has been annotated just below this order block, and that would bring us back into a premium of the market to trade further down again. But that let's not get too much ahead of ourselves. Let's go to the daily. We can see we have been trading higher today, while we had rejected inside this daily volume imbalance last week. If we were still bearish, in my opinion, we would have seen a retracement or expansion lower from here on. But instead of an expansion lower from the daily order block and a daily volume imbalance with sell side liquidity here, we can see we traded higher and we broke this high again. For me personally, I think we will keep on getting higher, breaking this trend line, but it's being used as inducement. A lot of people will be selling from here. It's been a clear downtrend for a while right now, and the trend line has been drawn out by people. We only draw it out as a confirmation that we are on the other side, and we can see a daily volume imbalance here. And if we want to get really bullish, we can go towards the daily fair value gap right here. So that's something that I'm eyeing right now, especially, like I said, for the coming days, mainly for the beginning of the week. And let's go to the 1 hour. Regarding the 1 hour, when we see the projections of the daily, we can see we have the last trading range from this high towards this low, and in between we have a lot of equal highs resting and a volume imbalance as well here. So what I'm expecting for tomorrow is that we will get on with an expansion higher, and to be honest, I don't think we will get very deep down inside this range. What we can see is we were trading higher from the start of Monday right here trading higher. This can be shown as an inducement. How can I see this? We went to a premium, and instead of rejecting from this premium and trading further down, we just have a sharp move down, which will be taken over with only 2 candles with a big imbalance to take out buy side liquidity. So what I would like to see is this to stay open or not fill in to the max at least. So we could see a retracement as max back to this high, but personally I would like to see a fill of this fair value gap and then just keep on being bullish and leave this open for a later time to be a void and to be rebalanced later on. Alright, from here on we will go on to euro. I will keep the weekly outlooks a little bit shorter. Last week I saw that it was longer than I expected and than I hoped for, so I will try to do it a little bit faster than last time. Let me see. Alright, on a weekly on euro USD, we have this as a weekly volume imbalance, as a long-term target. I don't think that we will go for it right away, considering the framework I just outlined on the dollar, and we know that the euro USD will just follow the dollar like its little baby boy. What we can see here is that we have been trading back into this daily fair value gap. We have retested it once, traded above it a second time, and traded above it a few times more, and reject from it right now. Over here we can see we have that divergence that I was talking about. So we have a low here and a higher low here, while we can see we have a high here and a higher high here. This in itself doesn't mean a thing. It means we have just a crack in correlation, but when it corresponds with a price action that is aligned with it, it can mean that we can get a heavy shift, especially when we can see it on the daily time frame. And after the divergence, we can see we had a little bit of consolidation, meaning buyers will be trapped above this support. People will get induced to buy, and from that on, instead of buying indeed, we can see we've shown willingness to sell with a clear uptrend here as well, a bullish trend that we can draw out, and first sell side liquidity here with a swing low that we have there. So that is what I'm eyeing right here. If we want to get really bearish, we could trade that towards this daily volume imbalance, and then we're talking about almost 300 pips. I don't know if that's something that we will do this week, because that's not the way that I trade. I just trade from level to level, and I will see how it reacts, and from there on I will make a new expectation. So that's what I'm seeing right now. For tomorrow we could see a retracement back into this daily fair value gap, and then see a reaction from it. We could also see us using this old order block before falling down, but let's see how this will play out. When we go to the 1 hour, here I have the same thing. We had a movement down, we have a shift right here. Instead of shifting and being bullish, we shifted, we just traded up to trade further down, meaning this wall area right here is just a stop point and it's not something we have to look at as structure. We can take the point right here, our breaker zone. So this is the breaker block itself, the last candle, this one right here, the last candle down before we take out buy side, and then after that we take out the sell side. So this is our breaker, but this is the whole distribution zone, the whole breaker zone, meaning we could draw it out from here towards the leg that we have right now, but perhaps it will be a little bit lower overnight, and let's see where we will retrace. So over here I'm also looking at or this fair value gap that had just been created, or filling in a little bit of the void right here, but not trading too deep. I don't think that that's necessary. If we will get around here, something to this, I don't think I will be looking at it right away for sell, but I will be more towards sidelines. So let's see how this play out. And this is the first draw that I'm looking at, so that is a potential of something around 60 pips. So let's see what will happen and what we will get from it right there. Let's go over to S&P. I don't think I will be trading S&P this week a lot, and that is because it's not correlating in my mind with what I'm seeing on the dollar right now. On the S&P, I'm still very bullish. We just traded away from the weekly fair value gap last week, and we still have this volume imbalance open, the weekly and daily volume imbalance, so that's what I'm eyeing. Besides that, we have a buy side liquidity still open above this high, so that's not in line with what I see on the dollar, because if we're expecting a bullish dollar, you should be expecting a bearish index market, but at the moment I'm not. So let's see how this will play out. If I can see a clear buy, of course I will take it, but yes, I'm a little bit more cautious because it's not in line with each other. So for now I will be taking, if I will be trading, I will try to take buys towards this volume imbalance, and from this volume imbalance I will see what happens, and we might get a retracement lower. So this also means that for right now I don't have any points yet to point out for as this particular moment. What we can see for this day, let's do a little bit of a review. What we can see that happened overnight is we started the week right here with a little bit of a gap. This is the new week opening gap. We can see, as we have outlined, we were very bullish to take out further buy side liquidity, meaning if we trade up, we know it's just engineering new buy side liquidity. After the trade up, we broke above this high, so we took out buy side liquidity. What are we expecting after taking out buy side liquidity? Taking out internal sell side liquidity. So we draw up, taken out buy side liquidity, went below the new week opening gap, take out a rejection block, is taking out sell side liquidity, and from there on we have a shift. And after shifting, we created a new structure range from this low towards this high, the swing that took out buy side liquidity. And whenever we have a swing that took out buy side liquidity, we can start to draw out our model, meaning we want to see buy side intention is a willingness to buy, and after we have buy side attention within the structure range that we are using, meaning this low towards this high, we want to see a reversal below sell side liquidity, preferably within the current dealing range. And that is what is happening right here. The PD arrays that could be used were an old order block right here, and of course the new week opening gap after trading below it and coming above it. It can be used as a support. Could set your stop loss below the fair value gap here, the fair value gap candle, meaning you could have a stop loss of 2.5 towards 25 to 50 points, and the target is this high, and eventually you can draw it up probably to the end of PM. For right now I don't have an analysis on this. Like I said, want to see it play out. If it keeps on trading higher, I think we will just get another buy opportunity in PM, and before we want to buy, we have to take out some sort of level of sell side liquidity. Alright, so this is what I'm looking at right now. Main focus for the week will be on euro and dollar, mainly tomorrow and Wednesday. Tomorrow the whole day, and Wednesday after Wednesday in London session, and after the release of the 8:30 FOMC. And for Thursday no trading, and Friday after NFP. So good luck, happy trading, and wish you all the best, guys. See you another time. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe to watch more, and let's do this journey together.